Hello, my lovelies. Here are your oracle messages for May for the sign of Gemini. I hope you're doing well. Things seem to be moving up a notch for all of us. And I've been given a vision for you and a little snippet of a song. And this seems to be a theme running through all of the signs for this month. So they're tickling up my tonsils to give you some lyrics, which hopefully will touch you on some level. So there's only snippets, so you can Google the song and get the rest of it. So there might be something within those lyrics that's even more profoundly resonating with you. So the vision, it fits in with the song, and the song is called Anything Goes. So with the vision, what I saw was a ship ready to leave dock on a voyage. And there was a man and a woman who are you guys, so whether you're male or female, and you were waving goodbye to family. And you were dressed in sort of 1920s outfits. So ladies' collars right up to here, long gloves on, so practically the whole body covered, a skirt right down to the floor. And the gentlemen, and they were ladies and gentlemen, they weren't guys and girls, they were just ladies and gentlemen. And the guys had top hats on and a long overcoat and gloves, again, shrouding, covering all of your bodies. And it was very prim and proper as you walked up the gangplank onto this boat. And it felt like the tour. So in days gone by, the people, wealthy people would send their offspring on the tour, which meant that they went off around Europe for months and months and months, getting some culture and some experiences of life. So these young people represent the part of us that is about to go off on a journey. You're being sent. It's gifted to you from your parents, being Father, God, Goddess, Mother Goddess energies. And once you're on board and you wave goodbye to the family, then I saw all of this restrictive outfits coming off. And then you went straight into the costumes of the 1920s, which were short skirts, bobbed hair for the ladies, and guys removing your jacket. And the song goes, in olden days a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking. Now heaven knows anything goes. So yes, in olden days, if anyone saw a glimpse of someone's stocking from underneath a long skirt, it was very racy. And how that has changed, how that has the length of skirts have gone up and down over the years. So I feel the sense of this vision is that the restrictions that you've had in your lives, say from family, from your upbringing, from your teachers, from your ancestral line, that wagged their fingers at you and said, oh, no, 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 you must behave, you must be prim and proper, you must have perfect manners and not step out of line. All that's being thrown out the window now. So the energies that are coming to meet you in the month of May, and you're probably already feeling it actually. It's sort of been gearing up since the beginning of the year. And it's going to get even more exciting. Woo, yeah. So those of you that are ready to break out, ready to throw off this old stale, what they call it, mothbally outfits, and step out of line, step out of the family pattern or the family dynamic and say, right, I'm off, I'm going to have an adventure. Anything goes, absolutely anything goes. So when I see a vehicle, so if it's a boat or a ship or a car or an aeroplane, this says to me, this is your journey in life, where you are headed. So the ship is at the dock, ready to go. You're saying your goodbyes. You have to put your dancing shoes on, definitely. And there is a lovely musical called Anything Goes, so you can probably find it on YouTube or snippets of it on YouTube, and get an idea of the energy that's bringing up for you this month. I think the whole thing, the whole story is on board a ship. So over these coming weeks and months, it's movement. You will be moving in a completely new direction with a lot of fun, with a lot of exuberance, changing the way that you look, maybe literally hairstyle, clothes, changing the way that you act and behave with others. So there isn't that sort of stiff collar for the ladies. You'll be able to speak, to sing, to dance, to frolic is a word I've been given. A step out of the role that everybody or others have placed upon you, and that you have willingly played. So there's a great sense here of your free will. So when we came to this planet, into these physical bodies, the powers that be gave us free will, the will to be able to be free to do anything that you want to. But sometimes we allow others, so as I say, family, teachers, and the ancestral line says, no, you have to be this, you have to do that, you can't step out of that role. So this is very different. For some of you, it would be like a breath of fresh air. Can I really? Well, of course you can. Give yourself permission to become who you truly are, to investigate that part of yourself. And if it means you literally get on a boat and go somewhere, all the better. And on this journey, there are going to be an awful lot of like-minded people who are also escaping from this, the bonds that others have placed upon them, and that they've allowed to control their lives. So your oracle cards are just wonderful. They really boost what I've just been telling you. So keep that in mind. Anything goes. You have free will. Anything goes. So long as it doesn't harm anybody else, anything goes. So your first little card is a angel card of communication. So Gemini, you're ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the god of communication. It's also the god of the crossroads. So you may find yourself at a point in your life where you need to decide which direction to go in. And you might have been to and fro and humming and hawing about it. But clear communication is coming to you. That's the way. Follow that. And you'll just know. You'll just know. You'll feel it in your guts. You feel it in your bones. That's where I'm headed. So Mercury is also the god of commerce. Trading. So if you have something to sell, it could literally be a product, and or yourself, you know, your voice, your other talents and abilities that you can trade with another or loads and loads of people. Okay, they're saying that you are now coming to center stage where you are going to present it. So they're putting me in mind of Britain's Got Talent, but also Dragon's Den. So it's having that fearlessness of stepping onto that stage or stepping in front of people who can support you, who can applaud you, who will give you a standing ovation. And a golden buzzer. We had that for one of the other sides. Anyway, definitely the timing is right for you to step forward. Now, there are 4 little angels there, okay? And they've got telephones, so they're all yakking away to somebody. So this is energy on 4 different levels. So communicative energy on 4 different levels. So there's between you and another. Okay, so this can be a partner, it can be a business partner, it can be a potential boss. There is communication between you and a lover, romantically speaking. So whether you're in a relationship or you're not, it's what you put out there now to attract to you that sort of person that you want. The third one is your communication with your higher aspect. So your soul's purpose, your divine purpose. And the fourth one is your communication with you, how you communicate with yourself. So sometimes when the ego gets in the way, it will prevent us from doing what we came here to do, because the ego tries to protect us from any sort of illusionary harm. And this is how you can move beyond that. So you've got 4 distinct forms of communication coming to you. And it's which one you listen to the most that will give you the results that you want. So the one you listen to the most is your higher self. And then the others all follow on from that. And a good way to stop the self-sabotage, stop the ego from preventing us from doing what we came to do, is imagine it's a child. The ego is a child. And you say, go and play outside. Go and play outside for a little while, and I'll call you in when I'm finished. So it's just giving it a little something to go and do. Go play outside, you'll be fine. And when I'm finished, I'll call you back in. So the ego feels safe that it will be called back in. And it also feels happy to go off and play for some time. But it hasn't got in the way of this communication, which is now vital to your next stage of this journey. Your self-mastery card is lovely. Accuracy. So when we have a trip, a journey, a quest showing up, sometimes not planned, it can come out of the blue because there's all this Uranian energy going on around us. Accuracy is also vital. So what you pack to take with you. Yes, you can pack some memories, but are those memories all nice positive ones? For some of you, it's about travelling light, not taking a whole steamer trunk of stuff with you. Okay, and they're also showing me, like in the 1920s and 30s, when people travelled by boat and ship a lot, if they had the money, they would have a valet, they would have an assistant, they would have a maid, they would have someone to look after their clothes and their belongings for them. So my sense of this is that your valets, your maids, are your angelic helpers. They are the ones who take care of the details, who make sure that when you walk out the door, you look good, you feel good, you've got all those little bits. I'm reminding you of all those little bits that you need to pack for your journey. So, accuracy, get it right, Amanda. Accuracy, it says, as a master, I always consider each situation, knowing what to do, when to do it, and for exactly how long. I develop the instinct to recognize when something is not right and I'm ready to start over. So this is a wonderful energy of not wasting time. So, you know, when you're farting around with something that you know is past its sell-by date and you keep trying to get it up and running and you know it's never going to work, it just hasn't got that impetus. It's being able to say, right, I've finished with that, I know it won't work, I'm letting that go, and let's see what else comes in. Because on this journey that you're taking, I feel you're going to meet some extraordinary people. There was a book called Meetings with Remarkable Men by a chap called Gurdjieff, Gurdiff, and I think he was with us around about 1920s, 1930s. So you can look him up. It's a fascinating read. Meetings with Remarkable Men and Remarkable Ladies too. Because I feel that you have an awful lot to give, to share with others, but there's something that wants to come to you, to be shared with you on a very, very deep level. So It's going to shift some of your belief systems. It's going to shift some of your habits, your patterns, because it's way out of your experience so far in life. For some of you, meetings with remarkable men and or women, it will be like a long lost friend, companion, lover, even somebody who shows up and you just know them. You feel like you've known them forever from past existences. They've just shown up in your life again, maybe in a different bodysuit, and it's like you pick up from where you left off. It may not be as a romantic link, but there is a romance to it, because there is that unconditional love. There's that theme of love running right through this encounter with someone. Okay, and they're saying that this is for the long haul. So whereas you might have had people popping in and out of your life over the last, all right, they're saying 5 years, and you may have given your heart to somebody, or more than one person, and they've left, and there's disappointment and upset around you. It's like okay, it's like these people who came in for a short period were the entree, as the Americans call it, or the appetizer, as we call it, just to give you a little taste of something, or amuse-bouche, as the chefs call it. So yeah, just a little taster of how things could be. So these other people didn't stick around because you still had the main course to show up, and that's what's heading your way. And for a lot of people, they've just been sitting and waiting, sitting and waiting, sitting and waiting for something to happen, and that's not ever going to work. So this is about you getting off your bum, taking action, whatever that action might be, to get you aboard that ship and to meet those people, because it feels like you and this person or people need to meet in the middle. So rather than you being here and them coming towards you, where you've just been sitting waiting, it's a double effort. So they don't have to come as far, you don't have to come as far when you meet in the middle. So if they were there and you had to trek, you might have given a thumb just before you got there, if that makes sense. So there's all right, they're talking about divine timing here as well. So accuracy can be allotted to time too. So I don't know if they still make it, but there's a watch called Accurist. So when you put it on your wrist and you read it, it was always accurate. So the accuracy of divine timing, and they're talking about allotting a time. So as you are focusing on this new pathway, this adventure, this quest, allotting some time during your day where you can focus on it. And this is daydreaming. Daydreaming is very important. I used to be told off so much for it when I was at school, staring out the window and just in another little world. But you shouldn't be told off for going into the zone and just focusing on dreaming something into being. We dream at night time. No one wakes us up and say, "You're dreaming, you shouldn't be dreaming." So night dreaming's fine, but daydreaming apparently isn't. I say it is, definitely. So dream during your day. Give yourself 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day, where you can just sit, no phones, no electric stuff on, maybe walk in nature, and give yourself that gift of daydreaming. So say it's like you are, you're making a movie. It's your movie of your life. So scene by scene by scene, you daydream it. So when a film director is before they start to film anything, they have a storyboard, don't they? So somebody maps out the whole story, picture by picture, on this board. So that's the way that you can do your daydreaming. And as you get into the habit of it, you can go back and fill in each picture, put some colour in it, rub a bit out, put another bit in, another character in that, have a bubble for words, whatever it is they want to say. I'm going to jump to the Gordon Smith card. These are the 5 keys to happiness. And this is the Fire family, and it's inspirations. So there's a little girl, she's daydreaming. Yes, she has a candle lit. The curtain is pulled back so that the light from within her is beamed out. So the fire energy is our creativity. It's our inspiration, our ability to get things cooking. And it's moving from a tiny divine spark into this roaring, exuberant energy within us to really bring something to light. And inspiration is breathing in. Expiration is breathing out. When we expire, when we have expired, then we've gone, we've left our bodies. But inspiration and expiration are the way that we breathe in and out in our everyday lives. Now, our lungs are rather large organs, and they start, so this is the clavicle, the collarbone, and they reach right down to the bottom of our ribs, and they go from the front of our body to the back of our body. They're like great big sponges. Now, sometimes we don't breathe properly. We only breathe up the top here. So down the bottom of our lungs, there's a lot of stale, stagnant energy. Think of it as sort of grey, smoky stuff. And it can sit there for years. And a lot of that we've taken in and haven't expelled is grief. It's old hurts. It's loss. It's the feeling of not being good enough. You may find you sigh a lot, which is a way of trying to get all that old energy out. So a good tip for when you feel inspired, new ideas, new ways of doing things, new pathway, new journey, is to breathe properly. So the way that I teach it in my workshops and to my clients, it's preferable if you lie down, because when you have not been breathing properly, you might be a bit stooped. And when you take a deep breath in, because you're not used to it, you might feel dizzy. Because, 90% of the oxygen we take in goes to the brain first, and then around the rest of the body. So when you're lying down, there's less of a risk of falling over. And again, being in a quiet space, you can lie on a bed, you can lie on the floor. If you put something on your tummy, if you use crystals, you can use a beautiful piece of rose quartz or something not too heavy, but put it on your belly button. And as you breathe in, you will feel your diaphragm working, and your belly button, it will rise. And as you breathe out, just see this, a book or a crystal on that area moving up and down. So you know that you're breathing right into the bottom of your lungs. And your diaphragm is doing the work to push out all that stale, stagnant energy. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And you can build up from that every day. If you have an issue or a problem going round and round and round in your mind, you're a Gemini, you might be in two minds, shall I do this? Oh, what if I did that? Oh, This is a very good little exercise to do to bring you the solution. Always ask open-ended questions as well when you're doing this little exercise. So you've got an issue, you've got a problem, so you ask of yourself or your higher self, if I did this, what would be the result? And you will find that a solution does come to you, an answer does come to you. And the more that you practice it, the easier it gets, as we say of most things. Now I asked for an animal for you, and oh gosh, this is just so delicious. And it also ties in with my painting here of an angel. So this is your animal for the month, hummingbird. Now one of the other signs got this as well, can't remember which one. So again, there's a theme running through the collective for the month of May. It goes beyond that as well. 44, Master Teacher. 4 and 4 adds up to 8. So 8 is material satisfaction. It's also the symbol of infinity when it's on its side. So what comes around goes around, what comes around goes around. And how we move into things and move out of them, move into things and move out of them. And that continuous energy of lessons learned, lessons got rid of, lessons not repeated anymore, and improvement, constant improvement in your way of thinking and being in your life. So the beautiful, beautiful hummingbird is unique. So the Creator made this fabulous creature which can fly between worlds. It goes beyond the veil, bringing messages from the divine to mankind. It is tiny, tiny, weeny little bird. And it is unique because it can fly backwards, forwards, up and down. No other bird can do that. And it sticks its beautiful little proboscis into the flowers to gather the nectar. It can also hover, which no other bird can do. So it looks like it's motionless. And there's an iridescence to its wings. This fabulous, fabulous peacock colours. So to have hummingbird energy with you throughout May is again saying to you, you can move in any direction now. You can appear to be motionless, but something is going on because you're humming, that you're hovering over something, and when the signal appears, you can move forward. You can retreat, then move backwards, but you're still moving, or you can fly upwards and have a better view. So this is extraordinary flexibility on lots of different levels. The flexibility to communicate on lots and lots of different levels. So the little mini hummingbird card says, embrace what makes you happy, be joyful, count your blessings and open yourself to pleasure. So when we bless what we've already got, then the universe acknowledges that and says, oh, they're very happy with what they've got, they're not complaining. Oh, let's bring them some more good stuff. So opening yourself to pleasure as well. So going back to the vision of these young people taking off all this restrictive clothing and getting out there on the dance floor and boogieing on down. And they did call it the Roaring Twenties because people had just come out of the First World War, and there was a lot of gloom and doom around. So suddenly this music appeared, which came from America. Syncopated rhythms, interesting word. So syncopation is bringing sort of discordant things together in a very different rhythm. So you having this ability to tap into things that other people might find out of alignment or discordant, bringing it into a very different rhythm, because anything goes. Anything goes. Yeah, and be joyful. So if you've got doom and gloom merchants around you, which there are quite a few of at the moment, saying, oh, isn't it awful? Oh, isn't it dreadful? Have you heard about this, that and the other? I tune out of that. I don't bring that into my presence, into my vibration. I just work at the happiness, the joy level. And when we do that, when we show joy is a very high vibration. So we've got love, we've got joy. It's a very high vibration, a resonance, and people can feel it from you. No, there's this feeling of, I'm looking into the far distance, I'm daydreaming, I'm bringing something into my life which I know will improve it, not only my life but the lives of others. So she's got no computer, she's got no phone, she's got no tablet. She's just using her own energies and her own ability to tune into what is for her highest good and that of everybody else. Now your final card is from the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle, and this is fabulous too. This combination came up for someone else, the hummingbird and the raven. So see, the raven is stood on a skull, and that's not to scare you or it to be a scary picture really. It's to do with death and rebirth, endings and beginnings. And because we've got Pluto and Saturn retrograde at the moment in the sign of Capricorn, Pluto is about death and rebirth. So it's going over stuff, looking what has died, looking what has should have been buried a long time ago. You don't want to drag around behind you anymore. So raven is he's a messenger, as is the hummingbird. So any bird like raven or crow or jackdaw, when they do show up, they make a noise. They caw and they announce themselves. You can hear them. So you may be visited by raven or crow. Pay attention, because they're bringing magic into your life. You've got so much here in this in these messages about paying attention. So going back to communication and accuracy. So what is showing up? What the messages that are being brought to you? You will find they're accurate. There's no deception here. There's no nothing being misconstrued or misunderstood. It is accurate, clear, divine messages coming through for you. Mercury being your ruling planet, Mercury is a messenger of the gods. So there's nothing being misconstrued. Mercury is no longer retrograde. He's out of shadow. So what you are hearing, what you are sensing is true. It's accurate. Pay attention. So the raven energy is about magic, coincidence and synchronistic events. So for some of you, it might be that someone gifts you a cabin on a cruise. That has happened. I do know people that has happened to. Someone said, you know, we can't go on this cruise. We booked it, but something else has come up. and we really don't want to miss it, so here are the tickets. You go. So something is coming for you which coincides, so coincidence coincides with how you are resonating, how you were thinking about life. Because you might have said to others, do you know, I really would love to go on a cruise one of these days. Do you know, I'd really love to visit Egypt. Don't suppose I will, you know, in my time of life, and don't see how that could come about. Boom. And the synchronistic events. So coincidence and synchronicity are similar sort of energies, and it's to do with divine timing. So something showing up, apparently out of the blue, not really. It's like the universe has been working behind the scenes for you, bringing you something that you've been thinking about for a very long time. So an example of that was many years ago, in the 1980s, I worked in London in an office there, and I came across a travel brochure about Hawaii. Oh, and I really, really wanted to go, but at the time I thought, well, I'll never be able to go, I'll never be able to afford it. It's an awful lot of money. How on earth could that happen? And it did. Many, many years later, but the funds came to me. I thought, wow, I can go to Hawaii. So I booked it and off I went. And I swam with the dolphins and had a wonderful time. So from planting that seed, maybe 30 years previously, it started to grow. And behind the scenes, all of the components for this journey, for this adventure, presented themselves to me one day. And I thought, wow. So never ever give up on your dreams. There's always something will show. Now this is the painting that wanted to be present with you lovely Geminis today. For each of the signs, I've shown one of my paintings. And each of the signs have had a song. Excuse me. So the energy of this wanted to be with you today. I call it Angel. And there are various different elements in it. A bit closer. And in all of my artwork, I add sacred water from the chalice well in Glastonbury, and what is known as vibhuti, which is sacred ash. So I mix that with the paint, and it exudes a healing energy from anyone who views the paintings. So if you'd like a copy of this, you can also have them as greeting cards, and details are in the box below. And if anyone would like a private session with me, again, details are in the box below. So I hope this has been of some help to you, my lovelies. Thank you again for watching and sharing and liking. Please subscribe, that really does help my channel to grow. And if you click on the bell, then you'll be notified for some further videos that I'm going to upload. I've got lots of other things coming up in the coming months, so watch this space.